following scenario shows the typical activities a designer is engaged in during a design process. This example is from the domain of programming. A programmer's main activity during program design is writing or modifying code. She will keep on doing this non-reflectively until a situation comes up which requires reflective thinking about the program. This could happen when specifications have to be refined, or when a problematic situation like this one comes up. In this case, she has forgotten the proper syntax of a programming construct. This information can be obtained by browsing through reference manuals. In the case of high-functionality computer systems, this is a non-trivial task. Documentation may occupy several yards of shelf space. When relevant information has been found, such as an example illustrating the correct syntax of the construct, the programmer can resume coding again. Programming can be seen as design, which cycles between implementation and specification. To support this process, we need to build tools which augments these two activities and which takes an active part in making reference information from large information stores relevant to a designer's task at hand. As a first step towards this, we have built the Janus system for kitchen design. The Janus is composed of two subsystems, Janus Construction and Janus Argumentation. Janus Construction consists of a construction kit and a set of critics. These are the window panes of Janus Construction. The palette consists of a set of elementary building blocks called design units. They represent the materials of the domain. These include architectural symbols such as walls, doors, sinks, and stoves. The work area is where the designer creates the artifact, the kitchen floor plan. This is done by combining design units in various arrangements. The operations available on a design unit include move, rotate, scale, edit, and delete. The catalog of examples consists of pre-stored designs. It supports construction by modification, by which an already existing artifact is modified into a new one. The Messages window prints out critique whenever a design rule has been violated. Critiques represent design knowledge as relationships between design units. An example is sink in front of window. The critics are activated whenever a design unit has been moved. The designer can also ask the system to critique all design units in the work area. Janus Argumentation is an issue-based hypertext system based on the PHI design methodology. It consists of issues, answers, and arguments giving rationale for the rules of kitchen design. It is built on top of the Symbolics Document Examiner. The Viewer window shows an argumentative context, an answer with its pros and cons arguments. They justify why two design units, the sink and window, should relate as a design rule prescribes, sink in front of window. The Outline window lists argumentative topics related to the current context. These include the issue which is being deliberated and all its answers with arguments. The window lists all the nodes previously accessed, including all issues, answers, and arguments. The designer can navigate to one of these topics by a single mouse click on its topic name. The Catalog Example window is used to display design examples in order to illustrate argumentative principles. We now show example dialog with the Janus system. This will illustrate the concepts just discussed. Let's assume the goal of this design process is to improve an already existing design. This one-wall kitchen consists of too much unused floor space, additional work and storage area needed. I will start by copying the one-wall kitchen from the catalog into the work area. Now construction can begin. Construction will allow the designer to create her new kitchen by direct manipulation of basic kitchen design units. She can shape the design to her own liking. Let me first replace the old fridge with the new double-door refrigerator. With the right mouse click on a design unit, I get a menu of the operations available on this object. I first have to delete the old one. This can be done by selecting the Delete option. I select a new one by going to the palette of design units. Let me move the double-door refrigerator down to the end of the left wall. This should give me plenty of additional work surface. What's this? Critics apply relevant design knowledge to a designer's task at hand. Although rules can be broken, the designer must be made aware of them to avoid unanticipated consequences of the actions taken. This critique says that the length of the work triangle is greater than 23 feet. What is a work triangle? We can answer this by bringing the designer into the exact location of the issue base, where information about the work triangle rule can be found. Argumentation lets the designer think rationally about the floor plan in terms of the principles of kitchen design. Resolution of breakdowns and the decision whether to break a design rule or not should be taken in this mode. I see. The work triangle is the center front distance between the three main appliances, sink, stove, and refrigerator. This length should preferably be less than 23 feet to avoid unnecessary walking and to ensure an efficient workflow in the kitchen. This sounds good, but I would rather see an example. Catalog examples are used to put argumentative principles, such as the work triangle, in context. A catalog example is an example taken from the catalog in Janus Construction. By clicking with the mouse on the Show Example command and then selecting the answer Refrigerator Sink Stove, a catalog example is shown. This example shows L-shaped kitchen where the work triangle is less than 23 feet. I am now ready to return back to Janus Construction and resume the construction task previously interrupted by the critic. Notice how the catalog example from Janus Argumentation becomes the current example in this catalog. This will allow the designer to easily refer back to the work triangle example without having to go back to Janus Argumentation. I have now been informed about the work triangle rule and I decide to comply with it. The refrigerator can be moved closer to the sink and stove to make the work triangle less than 23 feet. In order to add the additional storage space and work surface, I could place cabinets on both sides of the refrigerator. They will serve the dual purpose of storage space and work surface. The last cabinet has to be scaled. This is done by right mouse click on the cabinet to get the operations menu and then to select the scale option. It can be scaled to fit the remaining space. Here is a completed floor plan. I wonder what the critics will say about it. A critique can be requested by selecting the Critique All command from the menu bar. Wow, this kitchen satisfies all the principles of good design. I better save it in the catalog for later reuse. The operation Save in Catalog will copy what's currently in the work area into the catalog. I name it New L-Shaped Kitchen, and here it is. This showed a typical dialogue with the Janus system. The following basic concepts were demonstrated as underlying the Janus design methodology. Construction is the pre-reflective activity of creating the artifact by direct manipulation of domain-specific building blocks. Critics identify breakdown situations, such as the violation of design rules, during construction and link them to relevant reference information. Argumentation is the activity of reflecting, thinking, or talking about the design to resolve breakdowns by deliberation. Catalog examples contextualize argumentation and link argumentative contexts, such as the resolution of a breakdown, back to new construction situations. Reflections in action, a term coined by Donald Schoen, happens when this cycle is completed within the action present. Reflection in action characterizes how professionals design and is the same time during which new knowledge can best be learned. This architecture shows the components needed to build computer-based design tools, which applies relevant reference information from large information stores to a designer's task at hand, without disrupting the flow of designing.